This video provides step-by-step instructions for suppliers on how to add matchmaking events to your supplier profile in Vet Biz Matches. So first things first, go to the portal page, vetbizmatches.mybusinessmatches.com. Click on the login button and provide the email address and password you created when you created your initial profile. Once you log in, you will automatically be sent to the dashboard page. To add events, to indicate your interest in being matched in cities across the U.S., click on the Events menu button and select Add More Events. Vet Biz Matches will be conducting a number of events across the U.S. this year, so the easiest way for you to find all of the Vet Biz Matches that are open for registration is to type in the phrase Vet Biz Matches in the search window and hit Go. You will see all of the events that are currently open for registration. You can add events, but first we recommend you scroll down and look at the general information. That will indicate which NAICS codes are the focus of that particular event. Some NAICS codes will be a focus in every single city that we're going to do, but some NAICS codes are only going to be done in a handful of cities. And we do this on purpose because we want to increase the opportunities for both the buyers and the suppliers at every event that they attend. So double check first to make sure that whatever NAICS code you offer a product or a service in is a NAICS code that is a focus for an event before you add that event to your profile. Now this process will have to be repeated for every single city for which you are intending to register. So as this example is the Vet Biz Matches event that is happening in Dallas. So once you have selected Dallas, let's say, as your first city, you now have to indicate the NAICS code for the product or service that you offer. If you already know what your NAICS codes are, you can simply begin typing those NAICS codes in and then pick them off of the drop-down menu. If you're not sure what your NAICS code is, you can go up to the link that says View Complete List of Business Categories, click here, and that will show you a complete list of NAICS codes that are the focus of that particular city. Then simply do Control F and type in a keyword to try and find the NAICS code that indicates the product or service that you offer. So for example, you could type in advertising or medical supplies or construction, and you will see all of the different NAICS codes associated with that keyword. Simply pick the different NAICS codes that work for the products and services that you offer and save that as part of your profile. Once you have completed adding the NAICS codes to your profile for that particular event, you will now be taken to your Profile tab, and at this point you can add additional capability statements or links to any YouTube videos you might have about your company or any other edits you'd like to make to your profile at this point. Now, in order to make it easier for buyers to be able to schedule appointments with you if they've determined that you meet their criteria, it'd be very helpful if you would indicate your availability on the day of that event. All of our appointments are 20 minutes and they are scheduled on the half hour. So they begin at 8:30 in the morning and run until 4:30 in the afternoon on the day of the event. If you plan on being available that entire day and you are willing to take up to 14 different appointments, you don't need to do anything further. But if you already know that there are some times that you are not going to be available during that day, for example, you may have to leave early or you'll be arriving late, then what is very helpful for the buyer is if you indicate your availability on the Schedule tab. So you can click on Schedule and then block times. And all you have to do is check the radio button next to any appointment time that you are not going to be available to meet with a particular buyer. Again, if you plan on being available the whole day, you don't need to do anything at this point. But if you need to indicate your availability and block off certain times, now's a very good time to do that before the matchmaking process takes place. Again, you will need to repeat this process for every single city for which you have registered. Don't forget to block some time for lunch. All attendees will be provided a buffet lunch, and that buffet lunch will be available between the hours of 11 and 1. So it's up to you to make sure that you get down there and get something to eat. So please block the time if you think you're going to need it to make sure that you've given yourself enough time to get something to eat that day. Now comes the fun part, finding out if you have any matches for that particular event. And remember, buyers are registering all the time, so you'll need to come back and check this page periodically. We will not be sending you any emails to update you that you have new matches in the system. It's incumbent on you to periodically check this page and see if you have any matches in the system. You will not be able to see your matches until one of those buyers or several of those buyers actually extend you an appointment to meet them in that city. For example, you may meet their initial criteria, you sell the product or service that they buy, but perhaps you haven't met their additional criteria. Perhaps you don't have the right size of a company, or they're looking for service-disabled veteran-owned companies and you are a veteran-owned company. So just having an initial match with a buyer is not enough to get an appointment. You have to wait until someone extends an appointment to you. Please do not make any travel arrangements to attend this event until you have accepted at least one appointment to meet with one buyer. So what happens if you accept appointments and then later decide that you are unable to attend the event, or that your schedule has changed and you will not be able to make all of the appointments that you had accepted? Please go into the scheduling tool, which we will show you in just a second, and cancel any appointments that you are no longer able to meet. That will return that time slot back to the buyer, and the buyer can use that time to meet with another veteran-owned small business. If you find that your schedule is filling up quickly, then you can choose to have a second person from your company using this exact same registration process. Go ahead and register a separate profile, and then that person can accept additional appointments. Remember, each supplier in the system can accept up to 14 appointments per event. So if it looks like you're going to hit 14, you may want to have a second person from your company register separately so that they can also accept up to 14 additional appointments. Once you begin accepting appointments, you may want to keep track of how your agenda is filling out for the day. So you just go into the Vet Biz Matches portal and click on Schedule. And for that specific event, you can see your entire schedule for that day. As a reminder, there are a total of 14 appointments that can be made for that particular supplier for that particular day. Appointments start at 8:30 in the morning and they run until 4:30 in the afternoon. Each appointment is scheduled 30 minutes apart. Your exact appointment time will be 20 minutes, and then the remaining 10 minutes of that half-hour block is for you as a supplier to get from one buyer to the next buyer, because again, these appointments are taking place at a hotel, so you will have to move from room to room in between your appointments. You can come to this scheduling tool and see exactly how your day is going to lay out. You can export this entire schedule to a calendar or Outlook tool that you may have. You can print out a copy of this schedule as a PDF. We will also provide you a copy of this schedule once you show up for the scheduled event day, just to make sure that there haven't been any last-minute changes with any particular buyers. So keep track of your own schedule, and we will also make sure that your schedule is provided to you on the event day. So that's it. You've now registered your profile in Vet Biz Matches, and you have begun to add cities to your profile so that you indicate your interest in being matched in a particular event location. Again, you're not limited to the number of events that you can sign up for. If we do 9 in a particular year, you're welcome to sign up for all 9 of those events, as long as your particular NAICS code is a focus of that particular area. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and register today. Again, it's free for any supplier, veteran-owned or service-disabled veteran-owned business, to register in the system and to be matched to any of the buyers who are also in the system. Just go to vetbizmatches.mybusinessmatches.com. We hope to see you at one of our events this year.